Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone doing good today. Yeah, I'm doing all right, and I hope everyone is, coping with this pandemic. I've been doing my best. I've been coaxed by many sources and many people to consider taking the vaccine. All right, so uh, I've been taking herbal medicine all my life. Never really taken any type of chemical medication, and I've never really been sick in a major way. I've only had like few colds here and there, but other than that, I'm really healthy because also I don't eat meat and I don't eat any dairy products. That's why I try and stay as young as I can be. You might not believe it, but I am actually 44 years old. Okay, and I get a lot of people thinking I'm much younger than that. I attribute that to my diet because I'm on a plant-based diet, so I try to maintain that type of diet. Try to eat like my ancestors used to eat, a long time ago. So, and it works and it heals diseases. Your food should be your medicine. That's what I would say. Okay, so anyway, just to kind of like recap where we were last time, we were talking about who the real Jews are. So this is part two of that topic. Remember, we done part one, so this is part two, and we're gonna pick up from where we left off. If I remember rightly, we ended up speaking about Solomon and how he was black, and how he described himself to be black. And so now we continue, we'll kind of like pick up from there and see what we find along the way. Me saying that Solomon was black, it's definitely not racism. Okay, I mean, if it's not me that's saying this. Okay, you need to change what Yahweh said, because those are his words through the messengers. You want to find out more information about the true identity of the so-called African Americans, or the some of the Africans based in Africa, what they were and what they are, and who the real Jews are. Then stay tuned. To the scriptures, we know that the Jews can never be white, so we're here to debunk that theory. Isaiah 29 verse 22. Therefore thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. So the Bible tells you that Jacob, Israel, the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, that neither shall his face now wax pale. Wax is Old English, which means to turn. So to wax pale means to turn pale. So if Jacob and his descendants' faces would turn not wax pale, which means turn pale, how can a Caucasian be a Jew? Caucasian people, or so-called white people throughout the planet Earth, whether they call themselves American, British, Spanish, French, Jewish, /Israel, Dutch, German, etc., they are all descendants of Esau, Esau, the wicked older brother of Jacob. Genesis 25 verse 25, Malachi 1 verse 1 to 2, Romans 9 verse 13. You can like that, understand that, believe it or not, but the truth will, go forth today. So the tribe of Jacob, from which the Jews of the Bible descend from, are described as black in the Bible. Jeremiah 14 verse 2, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Jeremiah 14 verse 2 describes the tribe of Judah, the Jews, as being black onto the ground, which means different shades of brown, which you dig through the soil. It is many different shades of brown, from light brown to dark brown, which you find many shades of brown, light brown, dark brown amongst the so-called Africans in Africa. Those are the shades that you find in Africa. The enslavement of the so-called African Americans is written in the Holy Bible, and is a curse that pertains to the 12 tribes of Israel. If we kept all the laws and statutes of commandments of our God Jesus Christ, we would be blessed and set high above all nations of the earth. However, Deuteronomy 28 verse 15 says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." All these verses, the curses that befell the nation of Israel only apply to the true Jews and Israelites, the people of Negro, Indian, Hispanic descent scattered throughout the North and South Central America, the West Indies, Africa, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and four corners of the earth. Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, this is what it says. "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." As it pertains to the so-called Africans / African Americans as well, the curse spoken in verse 68 clearly identifies them as the real Jews. One of the curses that befell the true Jews is that they would be sent into Egypt again with ships. The word Egypt is not the real name of the African country. Okay, the Egyptians called it Kemet in their native language of Kemal. The Israelites called it Mizraim in the Hebrew. Egypt also means bondage, according to the scripture. When the real Jews, dark-skinned Jews, were brought out of Egypt the first time, they were brought out of a house of bondage. Let's read Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 again. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Now, people were brought out of Egypt, they were brought out of the house of bondage. So Moses, a black man, he prophesied that the true, authentic, dark-skinned biblical Jews would go into Egypt again in a house of bondage again. How? With ships. Okay, what dark-skinned people were brought into bondage with ships? Didn't this happen to the so-called African Americans, West Indies, and Haitians? Yes, it did. It never happened to the Caucasians. So it never happened to them. These people are the ones that say they are the true Jews, but it never happened to them, and the scriptures don't mention them. Reverend 2 verse 9 and Reverend 3 verse 9, where it says, "By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again," means that the land of Israel that the Lord spoke unto our fathers about, we would no longer see it again. This shows you that the real Jews are not in the land of Israel at this current time. So who are those imposters on the land of Israel that are telling us they are the real Jews? It goes on to say, "And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." It says there, it means the place the black people were taken into bondage by way of ships, which was America. And in that place, America, what does the Bible say would happen to them? That they should be sold unto their enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. So when the Africans were brought over into America for bondage, they were indeed sold into slavery by our enemies, the white race, for bondmen, slave men, and for bondwomen, slave women. When it says, "and no man shall buy you," that isn't saying we wouldn't be purchased, because at this point you already see that we were sold unto our enemies. The word "buy," written in the old Quaker English, the King James Version Bible, is written in means to save or to redeem. If you are redeeming someone, you are saving them from evil. No man be it Frederick Douglass, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan could save the African Americans from evil that has and still is coming down upon them from 1619 to present, with the constant oppression of this country, America, and the white race, Edom, on many different levels. The scriptures, the only man that can save the enslaved real Jews is Jesus Christ, by the way of the God of Israel. And by the way, Jesus is also black, according to the Holy Bible. Revelation 1 verse 1, 14 to 15, Daniel 10 verse 5 to 6. Those of my people, Israel, that have received the truth which has been presented here, I wish them peace and love. And may the Most High bless you in every way. You know, we like to bring out the truth as it is, as it was in the past, and it shall be in the future. For a fact that there will be people out there that disagree with this information, is the truth. The truth shall set you free. Okay? And on this channel, we talk about the truth. Nothing but the truth. The truth might make you mad. You know, it might make you angry, it might make your face turn red, and so shall it. You know. And so if that's what happens, then let it happen that way. That's the truth. Nothing but the truth. And nothing can change the truth. Stay blessed, people. And yeah, you know, please subscribe and click that like button if you like the videos. If you want to hear more topics, you know, I'll be looking into a different topic that I can talk about next time. So I've finished talking about the real Jews, and we all know who the real Jews are, and may God keep blessing the real Jews and free the people of Palestine, okay, so they can have their land back. Thank you very much for watching, and stay blessed.